Hey guys, look what I got. So it's not mine, but this is the 20-inch, 21-inch, I don't know, probably 20-inch. It's the Snapper model 7800176 Hi-Vac Snapper with the big burly 190cc Briggs & Stratton engine. And you guys know how much I love the 190cc Briggs & Stratton engine. This is the engine that was on my Troy-Bilt TB360 that got me through 2 seasons of hell. That really rocked. So this mower is not my mower. This is somebody's mower. It's in their garage. I went ahead and stole it, and I'm going to give them a surprise makeover on their badass snapper. They haven't used it in a couple of years, and so I just wanted to show you what we got before I clean it up. I'm not going to show you the cleaning up process because that's kind of boring, but we're going to get it all cleaned up today, and then in the next couple of days, but in this video we're going to go ahead and go through it top to bottom, check the oil, check the carb, check the fuel, sharpen the blades. I'll give you guys a little tour of the transmission that snappers come with, which is completely different than anything you've ever seen before. It has its pros and it has its cons, and we'll discuss them. And then also you have the bag that comes up, this big snorkel up here that just slips on right here. So you take it off here and then you pull this up. And then when you want to dump it, you just open it up and dump it. Very easy, very convenient, but there are pros and cons with this big snorkel. Imagine wet grass trying to make it up this chute. So you got to be careful, but this big powerful motor really does help, makes a really big difference. So let me go ahead and get this thing all cleaned up, and I'll be back and we'll have this on the work table and we'll go ahead and check it out. Alright, so this is the Snapper, and I gotta tell you the model number because this is an older model, okay? They're replaced with the 976 now, but this is the 7800176. So you can imagine this thing's a few years old. I'm not exactly sure how old this is. Probably a good 4 or 5 years old. Now these Snapper mowers, you got to be very careful. If you want to try to buy a Snapper mower at Walmart because it says Snapper and you think you're getting one of these mowers, you're not. Now if you go to walmart.com, then you can find this in the 976 model, the one that ends in 976. That's going to be the same mower that you can find on different online lawnmower shops, okay? They're as high as $650 with free shipping on some of these online shops, down to $550 plus shipping, or site to store plus tax, where you might not have tax on some of these other ones. So you got to shop around, but you're looking at anywhere from $550 plus shipping or tax to $650 plus tax, no shipping. And that's going to be the ones that have the upgraded transmission. It's the real Snapper. All right, there's other Snappers that you can buy off the shelf at Walmart. I've seen them. You might as well go to Home Depot or Lowe's or Walmart and buy a Yardman or a Troy-Bilt or a Craftsman or a Boland's, because it's all the same. It's not the retail Snapper that you would find at a retail Snapper dealer. Big difference, okay? And Walmart doesn't stock on its shelves the retail Snapper mower that you would find at a local retail Snapper dealer. You're going to find the cheaper ones with the cheaper transmissions. Some of them are front-wheel drive and stuff like that. The real Snappers have not changed except for minor modifications here and there. But the real Snapper mowers, such as this, you would recognize this mower going as far back as the 80s. Now, before that, I don't know. But I know in the 80s, these Snapper mowers were the shiznak. If you had one of these mowers, you were prime time to be cutting a lot of freaking yards for a small push 20-inch mower. And so let's talk about it real quick. Let me show you some of the features of this mower. And these are still available. Andy sells them right now for about $650. And they are awesome mowers. And I would put this mower up against the Honda as a competition between the two. Of course, turf type's going to matter, you know, and you got different features with each one. Metal deck, you know, they rust, they crack and stuff like that against the lifetime composite deck of the or next type deck or whatever you call it on the Honda. Little things like that, you know. But I'm not going to do a comparison video with this against the Honda. But what I am going to do is I want to try to get this thing running and we're going to go ahead and we're going to use it in my backyard, and I'll give you guys a quick little demonstration on how it works. But right off the bat, what you're looking at, this big snorkel right here, this is your Hi-Vac, okay? This keeps the bag off the grass from dragging and all that, and it creates a whole lot of vacuum there and throws it up. And when you think about it, it's really kind of genius, because the mower blades with the lift on the back of their blades, that lifts, right? And so why would you have it lift and then shoot back? That's not the flow. So they have to do a lot of design and deck in order to get the clippings to process, cut, get into the wind and flow to the bag. Now what Snapper's done for decades is they have the hole right here going straight up, which makes sense because that's what this is doing. It's pushing the wind straight up. And so it shoots the clippings up and collects it into here. Very important to have a clean bag. If you can't see through your bag, if you can't hold your bag up and look in it and see sunlight easily, then you're not going to have air passing through, and it's like a dirty filter on a vacuum. It's just not going to work, and the grass ain't going to make it any further than this. So let's go ahead and talk about that a little bit more. You got the bag right here, you take it off like that, and then you grab it here and you slide it up, and you can walk over to your garbage can and just open it and dump it in. Too easy, right? And then, like I said, hold up the bag and you should be able to just look right through your bag. If you can't, then you got a clogged bag. Now let's say you don't want a bag, they also give you this plug that you can put in right here. And you just went ahead and you plugged up this chute right there, okay? Now you can mulch. Too easy. The grass, this, if you can see, this goes and blocks it to right here. So the grass is going to stop right there, right? So you got that block right here. Also, if you look carefully, you got a bolt here, a bolt back here, and then you got a bolt and a nut up here. Now these bolts have been removed by them, but what you can do is take that little rope off, this little pulley, that's your starter, right? Let me come around. And you can work this off quite simply like that, okay? Get that out of the way, and if you know you're not gonna bag ever, you just don't want a bag, they make a chute blocker right here, a plastic chute blocker that fits right here, and you got this nut and bolt right here, slide it on, and two bolts right there, and now you have a permanently mulching mower. So pretty smart. The only problem is, if you don't want to mulch and you want a bag because the front yard was mulchable and the backyard is full of leaves, now you need to break out, I believe if I remember right, at the 9/16 back from the 1980s when I had one of these, you need to break out a 9/16 and take these nuts off and switch over to the bag, okay? You can't just select the lever like a Honda or close a back door by taking the bag off and now it's a 3-in-1. So a little bit of work that needs to be done, but usually most people with a snapper, they just leave that chute on and they just use that plug. Now, nowadays, Snapper has two models to choose from. They have the Ninja cutting deck, and then they have the Hi-Vac. And I guess there's a little bit of a difference in the design of the deck, and so that makes me a little bit nervous. Which one should you buy? Now, if you're going to spend $600 or $700 for a mower, do you want to think to yourself, well, dang, I'm not getting the best mulching mower I could possibly buy because I'm buying the bagging mower? Or do you want to think to yourself, I'm not buying the best bagging mower I could possibly buy because I'm buying their mulching mower? And how interchangeable are they? I don't know, and I'm not going to spend $1,400 to find out by buying two of them. So that kind of shied me away right off the bat from Snapper. But this is the old school, this is the round deck, this is the way that they used to be for many, many years. And like I said, if you had one of these, you were King Mac Daddy and everybody looked up to you. You had a really cool mower. So let me go ahead and take it to the next step here and try to find the blade. Let me pull the spark plug if I can find it. Right here. If I can get this off. Good Lord. Lordy, lordy, lordy. There we go. Alright, never reach underneath and turn a mower blade without disconnecting your spark plug. Okay, so if you look here, this mower has the Ninja cutting blade on it, right? And this is what they're priding themselves on now. It actually has two cutting surfaces right here, much like the Honda has the two blades. Well, this is one blade, but it has two edges on each blade. One's down and one's up, all right? So this is going to be good for mulching, and it's got the lift here for wind. It's going to be good for bagging. This is going to be a decent mower for both with this. This is new. Back in the 80s and in the 90s, they didn't have this twin blade cutting stuff. All right, so you had to deal with what you had to deal with. You had as much lift as you were going to get with the blades that were available. And if you were dealing with any type of wet grass at all, any way of thick St. Augustine, southern Florida grass, you were struggling to get that grass to come up that chute. It just wouldn't. You might as well just left the plug in, because it would start the bag and then it would just fill up your chute and get stuck in the chute, and you'd just be mulching anyways. And then you'd always have to be pulling the bag off, reaching in the chute, and pulling grass out of the chute. It really was irritating as hell. Maybe with this new blade system right here, maybe it works a little bit better. Smaller pieces, maybe making its way up with some good lift still. Don't know yet, but you know what? I'm gonna find out for you. Okay, so I got it up, carburetor down. Not the best thing to do, so be careful whenever you lift your mower. You always want to lift the carburetor up so you're not flooding stuff, okay? Also, we're going to go through this carburetor. I don't even know if there's fuel in here, and I don't know what condition the fuel is in. All I know is this mower has probably not been started in 2 years or more. So whatever is in this fuel system is going to come out, so I'm not worried about this right now. But check this out right here. You've got what's called a disc transmission drive system. So this belt right here, okay, which is a little worn down, goes around the engine shaft, all right, that spins with the blade, there's a pulley, and it turns this big old disc right here. All right, this big disc is going to be spinning this way, and then you have this rolling disc up top. This rolling disc, it's crazy how it works. This rolling disc slides on a lever right here. It's a lot easier to do when it's moving, but you slide this up and down the disc, and the more that you slide it out, the faster this thing's going to spin on the outer part of the disc, and the more that you slide it in, the slower this one is going to spin, the top one, as it slides in on this spinning disc. That speed, fast and slow, controls the shaft right here, which goes back to this belt here, which turns the transmission here. So it's a crazy system, and this isn't, I don't think that's plastic, is it? I think that's metal. It's a crazy system. You can put fluid into this transmission here. There's a plug on top right here. It's all geared in there, so you could put like some 90 weight engine oil or rear end differential fluid in it, like for a car or a truck. Put that in there to help lube it, keep it going, you know. And then of course everything's adjustable. You got your springs here, you got cables, you got things that you can adjust to make it faster, slower, you know, make it so when you squeeze the lever here, this belt will get a little bit tighter. All right, this belt right here, I don't know how long this is going to last, but there might be a pulley that it rides on that's going to help with, you know, we got to look into that. It's feeling pretty tight right now. It doesn't seem like we have any issues. There's a spring here, so I'm sure there's ways of adjusting this if you need to. Like right here, there's a adjustable here for this lever here. So there's things that you can do to adjust the slack, because over time it's going to happen, you know, things wear out and stuff. But just the basic principle: engine turns belt, belt turns big disc turns top disc, slide top disc out for faster ground speed, in for slower ground speed, and that's all done up here on this handle. And then the transmission's back here in line, and it's got a differential transmission, so if you're going and you want to turn, you don't have to let go of the handle. It's not going to be spinning your inside tire as fast as you're rolling your outside tire. It'll be like a car with kind of like spider gear. It's going to help you turn without having issues with tearing up grass and stuff like that. So it's a very unusual transmission system. And again, the pros is this thing will run. The cons is, why would you ever run? You can only ever mow as fast as the ground is going to allow you to mow. So I mean, unless you're on a sheet of glass and you're only taking 1 inch or less grass off the top, you're only going to walk at about 2.5, 3 miles an hour behind a lawnmower anyways. I don't care what mower you have. So before you start asking me how fast will the mower go, which tells me a lot about you when I read those comments, and I know right away that this person isn't necessarily serious. I mean, unless they want to go on skateboard races or something. You can only ever mow as fast as the ground will allow you to mow and the turf will allow. So one mower saying it has a 7 mile an hour ground speed means absolutely nothing to me. I don't care. I've never mowed a lawn faster than 3.5 or 4 miles an hour. I mean, just never. I will never bounce a mower that fast over a yard. So figure it out for yourself. Get a little GPS and figure out how fast you're mowing. I guarantee you, if you're doing a smart mow and you want to try to make it look good, and you're not just open mowing a field, you're not going faster than 4 miles an hour. You're just not. That's just the way it is. Been doing this for decades. All right, so that's it. So now the next thing that we need to do is we're just going to, that's the features of the mower, but we're going to go ahead and start getting into this thing. So we're going to start with the oil and we're going to move into the carburetor. We'll sharpen up these blades. We're going to check the spark plug and I'm going to hope this thing cranks. All right, so the good news is I looked in the fuel tank and it's like completely empty, which is really good news. I really hope that they ran it out of gas and I'm not going to find any fuel in the carb bowl either, or that it completely just evaporated by now. That's great news because we can take the carb bowl off, just look for any dirt that might be in it, put the carb bowl right back on, maybe shoot some cleaner up in there, put some fresh fuel in this, and check that spark plug, and this thing should crank. But for changing the oil, we're just these smaller machines like this. The oil is not in very bad shape. I've seen a lot worse, but these smaller machines, I find it easier to just muscle it over. Now, if you got noodle arms and you can't, then I have a 90-day workout program that starts with nutrition, and then we moved into. I'm just kidding. If you can't, I get it, but I find it easier to just flip it and have a drip pan down at the bottom there and just let it drain out. It's not the easiest thing to do, but it works. Oops, that was too far. Line it up and let it go. There's not going to be too much oil in here. Probably about 12 ounces at the most. And just drain it out. All right. Whew. I'm good with that. We didn't get too much. I'll put some 20W50 in it because we are going to be in warm climates here. We're not in freezing climates. 20W50 is about the highest viscosity you'd ever want to put in a small engine. It's got the overhead valve, so you definitely want to use the 20W50 or the 10W40 or something like that. And when the older style engines, you used to just run like SAE 40 or SAE 30, but you definitely want to have the two viscosity. Yeah, we're doing good now. Next up that I want to check, I want to see if I can get the spark plug out. If I have a tool that'll fit in there, I should. And check the condition of that spark plug, then we'll move into the carburetor. All right, so we are in luck. It's a 5/8 spark plug. 5/8 size, I should say. Oh my goodness, that wasn't even really tight. Spark plug's not in bad shape at all. So what I want to do with the spark plug, it's not in bad shape at all, really. A little bit of crap in there. Maybe some spiders living in there. I'm just going to wire brush it, but it's really in really good shape. So let me just wire brush this real quick and I'll be right back. All right, I got the spark plug back together. I'm going to go ahead and work on the air cleaner now and check this out, see what we got. Requires a screwdriver, which I hate. And I got to bring up a point on something for you snapper owners that may go through this issue. Alright, so the air cleaner, I mean, I've seen a lot worse. I've seen a lot worse. See, this is just a homeowner's. So, you know, they maybe mowed their lawn once every 2 or 3 weeks for a few seasons. So even if this thing's 4 years old, it still doesn't have the amount of hours on it that a lawn guy with 20 accounts has in one season. You see what I'm saying? So everything's looking pretty darn good. But what I have to show you is to get the carb bowl off right here is a real pain in the butt, okay? You can't get any wrench to fit here. And it's very, very difficult. One thing that you can do is crack the bolts on the motor down here, 1 and 2, 3 and 4, and lift the motor up literally and get a wrench on there, or you gotta try to find, and it might be a lot easier to do because you don't want to start taking carburetors off, because then you're gonna need gasket kits, okay? Is they make wrenches like this box end wrench here, but it'll actually go like this and then curve out and then like this. And so that would give you an up and an over. So when you reach like this, you could be down here, but it would actually be up on the nut of the carb bowl, or the bolt of the carb bowl right here. I don't have one of those to do that. So I actually cannot take this carb bowl off unless I get funky with this and take the carburetor off the engine, which I do not want to do, and open that box. Or take the bolts free from the engine and lift the engine up to get me room to work, and I don't want to do that either. So I'm gonna roll the dice and see with a brushed out spark plug and a halfway decent air cleaner if we can get this thing to fire with just some good clean gas. All right, moving on, let's go ahead and take this blade off real quick. Remember, spark plug disconnected. What a crazy blade. Check this out. The top fin goes down, which creates wind on the outside of the deck to help create direction of flow with the lift. Pretty smart. But you see, in comparison to the Honda has 2 blades. This is 1 blade with multiple lifts. Multiple cutting edges, I mean. Let me go ahead and put a sharp on that. I'll be right back. You guys have seen me do blade sharpening hundreds of times. All right, nice and sharp. We'll go ahead and put that back together. You know, like if you look right here, these rear axle, these wheel mounts and everything where the bushings go through, man, they don't have cheap bushings like you'd find on stuff at the big box stores. This is roller bearings in there. That's like skateboard wheel bearings. So, you know, and that's like that in the front wheels too. They don't have like plastic bushings. When you start getting into these higher priced mowers, it's because when you buy it, especially if you're a homeowner, you're done. You don't have to buy another one. This is going to last you the life of your home, pretty much. That's what they're thinking, you know. So you're not going to be going out and buying one of these every 2 or 3 seasons. So they're going to get their money out of you at one time, and then they're going to make their money on like the air filters, spark plugs, and fuel filters, and blades, and stuff like that, belts. But these mowers are meant to last a very long time. I'm going to put the blade, the bag system back together, and we're going to go ahead and put some fresh fuel in it and attempt to fire it. Now, if it fires, fantastic. Then we can make our shopping list. New spark plug, new air filter. If it doesn't fire, then I didn't waste any money. This thing could have a bent crank. There could be any number of reasons why they haven't used this mower in years. And so I'm not putting any money into it, just some time to figure out what's it going to take to make this thing work. And who knows, we might be lucky. It might just fire on the 3rd or 4th pull. Let's figure it out. If you don't run the bag, you don't have to put this over here. All right? If you run the bag, then you want to put that there. But when you fire it up, you'll see it puts like weird, I don't know. You don't have to do it. should have just left it alone. Oil in the rings. Well, hot damn. To get this mower through the season, you know, like I said, maybe a new spark plug on hand, start having some hard starts or something, change that out. Air cleaners seem to be okay. It never hurts to start your season with a new air cleaner, so get a new air cleaner, have a new spark plug ready to go, a spare set of blades there, or a spare blade I should say. And then you got 3 belts on this machine that you might want to have on hand. You got the main drive belt off of the engine, and then you got the belt that works this way, that runs the transmission, and that's it. You got 2 belts, and service up that gearbox back there with some 90 weight gear oil. That's about it. I think I even have some of that gear oil on hand. That's it. Other than that, thing's ready to go. Even comes with a cup holder. So, hey, we got lucky, man. But we usually do. I usually get lucky. Basic common sense, man. Basic common knowledge of your small engines. Air, spark, fuel. That's about it. Let's go cut some grass. I'll change first. This is Savannah, Georgia, and it's February 23rd. Yesterday it was 30 degrees when we woke up. Today it was 32 degrees when we woke up. Now it's 12, 5 hours later, and I'm in shorts and a t-shirt, complaining that it's warm out. Ridiculous. Okay, I want to make a point about what you just witnessed with restoration, and I want you to think back to all the YouTube channels you watch of all these people telling you that you have to do all these crazy things to your lawnmower, and I want you to sit back and I want you to look at DansVlog, and I want you to go back to every November, every December, every August, October, January, February, or March, and tell me, did I ever put up a video telling you that you need to do anything in particular to your mower when you put it away? Never. I never have, because I never will. I never do, and I'll never tell you to go and buy any shit off the shelf and run it through your fuel system, because that's what you have to do in order for your mower to start come spring. This mower, in the video, at the beginning of this video, had drywall dust on it from over a year and a half ago. That's how long it's been that this mower, I know for a fact, has not been used. Over a year and a half ago. And the only thing that this homeowner did is run it out of gas and hire me to do their yard. And I started a year and a half ago, maybe a little bit longer than that. I'm not exactly sure. Cat's out of the bag. This is Save a Lawn, Save a Life's lawnmower. And since their divorce, I've been watching their house, watching their dog, and taking care of his stuff, you know, while he's gone and helping him out. Now, I'm not worried that by fixing his mower, I'm gonna lose him as a customer, because he's just not here enough to do his own yard. I'm gonna continue to mow his yard, and he agreed to the $70 a month deal all year round because he's always gone. So I stole his mower out of his garage without him knowing yesterday because I was tired of seeing a $600 mower full of drywall dust. All right. So all these videos out there of all these people on YouTube telling you to go buy this and go buy that. No names mentioned. But you don't need to do any of that stuff, guys. All right. That's just content being put up for views. Just get out of that crap. You don't need any of it. I promise you. I just proved it to you. The only thing that I may have needed to do, is clean the carb bowl. Possibly. Because I don't know what condition she ran it out on. You see what I'm saying? I don't know if she had bad gas. But if you're running your equipment and you know you're putting clean gas in there every time you fill it up and you're using clean cans, you don't need to do anything to your fuel system to put it away for winter. Just run it out of gas. That's it. Run it out of gas. And you're done. It'll fire a few months later. Put clean gas in it. So get out of that crap. That's why you watch my videos, because I'm not going to bullshit you. I'm not going to put content up just to put content up, and I'm certainly not going to endorse a product that is just not needed. It is not needed. Now, do I believe that fuel treatments can help your machine run better and reduce maintenance? Yes, wholeheartedly. Go get some Syphon, put a cap of Syphon in your gas tank every once in a while, clean that carbon buildout up, and you'll have a more efficient running machine. Yeah, sure. That's just general maintenance. But you don't need to do crazy stuff. Like people use the term winterizing. That's a common term, so I'm not picking on anybody that may have that in their title. I don't know. That's a very common term. You do not need to winterize crap. Run it out of fuel and put the damn thing away. In the spring, put clean gas in it, fire it up. You're done. You are done. If you're worried about the cylinder scoring or anything like that because it's dry, no. But if you are, then take the spark plug out, shoot a little WD-40 in there, put the spark plug back in and fire that pig up and you'll be fine. Alright? This is no bull crap on this channel, guys. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to demonstrate mulching with the plug in, and then we'll go ahead and put the bag on. It's got 7 height adjustments. I'm not exactly sure what height we're at right now. I like to be up higher in the front and lower in the back so the air can come in. And I have no idea what height we're at. It looks like we're at a decent height. We'll try this. The plug is installed. I put some nuts on these bolts so this isn't vibrating all around. Let's see if we can't get this pig to start. Probably gonna run a little rough for a while, you know. Oh wow. Alrighty then. The transmission keeps trying to speed up. I gotta keep trying to slow it down. Could be that spring right there needs to be maybe stretched out some, so it keeps the thing held over some more. But yeah, it keeps wanting to work its way over. And this is a very bouncy yard from my dog, so it's it's too much. But I'm going to go ahead now, and we'll go ahead and pull the plug and bag. So with the bag, just hang it and slide it down to snorkel. And like I said, make sure the cable's out of the way. It's a little bit hard to start. That tells me the spark plug does need to be replaced. Simple, basic maintenance. I mean, that wasn't too bad. And now here's the grass in the bag. And like I said, it's really easy to dump these bags. You don't have to like shake it upside down and all that. You just bring it over to where you want to dump it and let it go. Got a big opening. It just comes right out. Now the newer models claim to have a 2.5 bushel bag. This is definitely not 2.5 bushel. This might be 1 3/4, maybe. This ain't no 2.5. But so there you go, right? So like I said, this is the model 7800176. It's an older model. Not many changes since. It has the Briggs & Stratton 190cc, 8.75 foot-pounds gross torque. It's the 875 series engine. It's a big boy. It's a big boy motor. This is the same engine that comes on the Time Master 30-inch. Believe it or not, the 875 series. Now, did Time Master up that? God, I hope they did. But when I bought my Time Master back in 2016, I think it was, I couldn't wait to sell it. It was so underpowered for a 30-inch deck. But yeah, it had the 875 series, the 8.75 foot-pounds gross torque. I remember that was a step up from like the 6.5 or something like that they used to advertise back then on these 190 Briggs. So, you know, bigger carburetor, making a little bit more power, stuff like that. Maybe bigger valves, but basically the same size cylinder. So it was more compression, more torque. So, but yeah, that's it. This is really an awesome machine. People that own a Snapper love Snapper. It's very brand loyal, like a Honda, like a Toro, like an X-Mark. You know, people are very brand loyal to them. I think they're great. These mowers have been around forever. Dave in South Florida, if you're watching this video, you know, you remember, we used these mowers back in the 80s. You probably have one on your trailer right now. These mowers were badass back then, and they still are badass. So if you're looking for a good mower to get you through many seasons of mowing, heavy duty, heavy mower that's going to get you through many seasons of mowing, check out the Snapper. Check out the new models they have, the Hi-Vac, the Ninja Mulching, and all that stuff. Talk to the dealers. Ask them about concerns. You know, well, if I buy the mulching one, will I be able to bag? If I buy the bagging one, will I be able to mulch? And what do you do most of? Lots of people let mowers like this sit in their trailer until spring or fall and use them for spring and fall cleanups because of the bag. So you might want to get the bagger, you know, and then if you get a yard that you can't get your 36-inch behind in the gate, then you got yourself this little push mower that'll kick ass, and it'll last you for many seasons. Don't believe all the hype. You don't need to do crazy stuff to your fuel system. Run that shit out of gas and you're done. Put it away. Okay, change the oil, new spark plug, new air cleaner, and you're done. Ready to go in the spring. Anyways, thanks for checking it out and hanging out with me. Leave your comments down below, cuss me out, or tell me I'm godlike. It's all good. I love them all. All right, I'll see you guys later, and I'll definitely see you on the next one.